Hi and welcome to this DCP Web HTML5 and CSS3 beginners tutorial. In part 15 of this tutorial, I think what we'll do is go through an overview of what we've learned so far and build a new web page with the current skill set and knowledge that we have. So first of all, we need to think about something we're going to write about. Now let's try and think, let's go to Wikipedia, right? So we'll go to Wikipedia. This is like just the best source of information, or not necessarily the best, but it has a lot of information in here about a wide range of subjects. And I quite like, cosmology. So let's write about maybe, let's try and do a search for, I don't know if there's anything here, it should be Andromeda. Let's write about the Andromeda Galaxy. So we build a page about Andromeda Galaxy. Let's do that. Maybe that'd be a good example, yeah? Just to learn from, or to use all of the knowledge that we have so far to build a quick web page. So we've got a folder on our desktop called website design, and inside that we've got our existing files that we used in the previous tutorial. And we want to create a new directory, and we'll call that new directory website projects. Let's call it website projects, and we'll drag and drop this folder into here. Now we've just got one folder called website projects, and we've got one project inside, and we're going to start a new project. So we're going to create a new folder called, let's just copy this, Andromeda. Let's do that again. It's going to be called Andromeda Galaxy. Now you can go to any wiki page that you want and get the content from there, but you can follow this. I'll put a link to this as well in the YouTube description, or you can easily go to Wikipedia, just type in Andromeda Galaxy and you'll find the same page I'm using. And normally when I create directories, I use lowercase letters, yeah? It's always lowercase like this. Then we open up this Andromeda Galaxy directory and we create a new folder. And if you remember from previous tutorials, the first folder that we created was called images. We want to store all our images in here, so we might use some images and some information from here. Now, what's missing from this directory? We need our HTML file, right? Our HTML document. So let's go ahead and open up Notepad++. And if you see the content in here from the previous tutorial we created, then you need to go to File and go to New and create a new blank document, yeah? Just make sure you've got a new blank document here. Then go to File, Save As, and on my desktop we'll have that new folder called Website Projects. We have Andromeda Galaxy, and we need to save this file as index.html and save it here. So now we can see that index file here. So let's go ahead and open up our web browser, and we'll create a new tab. Let's create a new blank tab, and we drag and drop this index file into here, so we've got a blank page in here now. So we need to see our code, right? So let's just minimize this a little bit. We'll put it towards, let's put it towards the top here, somewhere like there. And we'll just hold down the Windows key and then press the right arrow, and that will right align this code here. The Notepad++ on the right, and then our content will be shown on the left. So the first thing we need to do in our document is declarate. We need to do the doc type declaration. So we do the open close bracket doc type HTML. And in most website pages you go to, this is like the HTML5 reference, yeah? So even if we go to Wikipedia and we go to right click, we can always right click and then go to view source code. And this is sometimes a nice way of learning source code as well. You can go to any web page, right click, most of them, and you'll be able to view source code. And you can have a look at how the code was written, and you can learn a lot from that as well. This is how I learned quite a lot of things as well, is to go to other websites and have a look at how that code was written. But this particular page is written in CSS, so we're going to look at that later, CSS coding. It looks a bit daunting, but don't worry about this too much. But all I wanted to show you here is the doc type, right? We've got exactly the same. And there'll be some other tags that are missing from when we're doing our content, but we'll learn about that a bit later. Right now we just want to focus on the basics. So we've got our doc type. What else do we need? We need the HTML opening tag, and we need the HTML closing tag. And those are like the it's almost like the bread between the sandwich, right? We always have these two here. Then inside our our HTML tags in between, we need to put the header tag. Remember, like, the person needs a head, but the person also needs a body. So always try and remember it that way, the head and the body, right? And all of our content goes inside the body, but the head tag will contain something. Now, I'll give you a few seconds to think. What did we put in the head tag before? If you look up here, we've got index.html. So if you went to a web page, let's say you went to amazon.com and it said at the top here index.html, that wouldn't really mean anything to you, right? So if you go to Amazon, let's go to Amazon. It doesn't say index.html, it says amazon.co.uk, low prices of books and electronics and all this good stuff. So we need to put in here a title. Is what is missing here, and that title will be Andromeda Galaxy information. So now when we go back to our page here and refresh, it will say Andromeda Galaxy information. Let's put a capital I here, refresh, then we've got capital I here. So inside the body tag, the first tag that we normally put is called the H1. This really just tells the user and the search engines what exactly is this page about. And this page will be about, we'll copy this text here and paste it here, be about the Andromeda Galaxy. Let's make a few line spaces here, and we'll go back to this page here and refresh. We've got Andromeda Galaxy written here, right? So we want to take some information from here and start building out our page. So I think the first thing we'll do is take these 3 paragraphs, we'll highlight them with our mouse. We'll right click and copy. So let's copy this information and we'll paste it into here. And let's sort out our text, right? So we'll just go to the beginning of this second paragraph and press the tab key to indent that, and press the tab key here to indent that. And on the keyboard, that's the tab key right there, right? On your keyboard there. So we hit that to indent this text. And if we save it, we're going to have a small problem here, right? We refresh it and it's just one big block of text. We didn't want that. We wanted 3 separate paragraphs. So P for paragraph. You open it and you close it. And we'll do one more here. And we'll do one more here. So if we refresh now, we're going to see 2 paragraphs, right? We see the 2 here. And really we should put one around the 3rd one as well. We should put one here anyway, because they are 3 separate paragraphs, right? Refresh and we won't see no difference, but now it's treated as 3 separate paragraphs. So underneath that, what do we want to do next? We're just freestyling this really, to be honest. So let's have a little think. Maybe we'll add this image. We've got this image here. So let's click on this image. And you've got to be a bit careful when you're downloading and using images off the internet. You can't just go anywhere and grab any image and just start using it. Certain places will allow you to use that image, certain places won't. A lot of them won't let you use them, so you just can't go to Google and search for pictures and start using them. You get copyright issues, you get problems that way. So just a quick note, if you go to my YouTube channel, or just search for DCP Web Designers, click on videos here, click video here, and if you scroll down the page, you'll see I made this little video here. Top 5 free amazing stock image websites. Here you can get the images, download them and use them for free. So you can visit this video and check out those websites and you'll be able to use images for free. But this particular one, on this Wikipedia page here, when we click on it and click on the download button, let's click here. Let's refresh this 1 minute. Here, this little pop-up should show, and it allows us to download the image here. So we'll click download and it's downloading the image, but it will see, it says you need to attribute the author. So when we click on that, there's a link here giving a reference to the author of this image. So we can use it, but we have to tell in our web page that this image was actually referenced somewhere else and it belongs to someone else, but we can still use it, right? So we want to minimize this a little bit, so we can get to our directory in the background and click on the images folder and drag and drop this image into here, and then we just want to rename it. It's got a bit of a long name, so we're just going to call it Andromeda lowercase a hyphen galaxy. So whenever I name things, web pages that have more than one word in them, or documents, PDF files, videos, anything that I put on the internet in a directory, I separate the words with a hyphen. And that's quite common practice now. So if we go to my website, and if we click on this drop down menu and we go to something like website design and click on responsive website design, you'll see the URL says responsive hyphen website hyphen design.html. So each word is separated with a minus key, or the dash key, where we call it the hyphen. Yeah, that's quite important to learn and understand, because as and when you come to write, when you have lots of content on your web page and you've got lots of images and references to loads of different locations and different types of documents, you want to have a naming convention, is what we call it. You want to stick to a naming convention, otherwise it will get a bit messy. And if you use lowercase all the time, then you don't have to worry about thinking, did I name it with uppercase? Did I name it with lowercase? Did I have a space in between? Did I not have a space? In general practice, never have blank spaces in between your file names. Yeah, use hyphens, very important. It will save you a lot of headache. Okay, we've got the image in here, so we're gonna right click on it. In fact, what we'll do is we'll click on the image once. We're just going to click on it once, press the F2 key on our keyboard, and that will allow us to rename it. But we don't want to rename it, we just want to select the text and copy it. The other way to do that is to click on the image once and then click on it one more time, and that will also allow you to rename it, and then you can select it with your mouse and copy it. We need the name of that, and we need the reference, right? So it's in a folder called images, and that's the name of it. So let's go down to here and we'll add that image. So it's img for image, the source, the source. So that's how I remember it. You spell out the word, and it's almost like an abbreviation of that word, source. So you get these characters in the right order. Equals, and it was in a folder called images, and the file name was cut and paste. We don't have to even think about that, we can just paste it straight in. Now, what's missing from this image tag? The width and the height. How wide and how high do you want this image to be? If we save it and just refresh it, it's going to be a massive image, right? Because this image was quite high resolution. So we can see it's taking up a lot of big piece of the page. So we want to make it the width equals 500, and then the height equals something like 400. Let's save it and refresh it, and that looks okay, right? 500 by 400. In fact, let's make it a bit wider. We'll do 700 by 500 and refresh it. We'll make it a little bit bigger, something like this. That's nice, yeah? You can see it quite clearly. So what is missing from this image? In our previous tutorial, I mentioned that whenever we use images on a web page, we need to think about people with visual impairments. So either people that are blind or have really bad eyesight, and we need to tell them what this picture is, because they can't see it. So they have a bit of software on their computer. It's called a screen reader, and the screen reader will read out Andromeda Galaxy, and then it will start reading all this text, and it will get to this picture. And if you don't tell the web browser what that picture is, then the person with visual impairments won't know what it is, and that's not really fair, is it? So let's look after those people, and we'll put in something called an alt tag, and we'll copy this Andromeda Galaxy and we'll paste it in here, and we'll say Andromeda Galaxy picture. So let's describe exactly what this is. It's a picture of the Andromeda Galaxy. So when someone's using something called a screen reader, when they get to this image, or they move their mouse over it, or they're reading through the content, it will say you are looking at an Andromeda Galaxy picture. So that's good for them, and it's good for us. Okay, so what else do we want to do? Let's have a think. Let's go back to this web page. So we'll click here to close this image. In fact, look, we missed something, right? So be careful. It says you need to attribute the author. So let's copy this text. So it's already selected, or you can click here, I believe, copy. You can just click this button here, and that will copy this information. Let's just paste it into here. Let's just paste it right here and see what it says. Refresh. So that's a little bit messy, right? So what we'll do is let's put a paragraph tag right here, and we'll put a paragraph let's hit the enter key, right? And we'll put a paragraph tag here. Let's refresh. Now that sits nicely underneath. And we want to put an, let's, you know, we've got a link here, but it'll be nice if someone could click on that link and go to that particular page, right? So what we can do is we can select this URL here, and we can there's a few ways to do this. Let's do it this way, and we'll do it another way afterwards. So we'll cut it. We'll press Control X to remove it. But when we remove that information, Control X to cut, we're actually storing it in memory, so we can use it again later. We're going to use that in a moment. So we put A for anchor, H reference, the hypertext reference, equals speech marks, and we press Control V. What we just cut, we're going to paste it here. Then we're going to close that tag. We'll close the anchor tag, and in between the anchor tag, we're going to paste it one more time. So one is actually the reference. We're telling the web browser when someone clicks on this link below, we want it to go to this particular page. So when we refresh it, it's now a link, right? And when we click it, we've got one more problem. If we were to click on it now, it's going to load in the same tab where we're writing our content or where our web page is. We don't want that. So we will go to the end of this URL, this tag here, right here where my mouse is, here, and we'll do TAR target equals underscore blank. And when we refresh the page now and click on the link, it will open in a new tab. That's what we want. Now let's put in a horizontal rule, a HR, and we'll save it and refresh. Now we've got this line separating our first block of content, and underneath we want to put some more content in. So we'll go back to this wiki page, we'll close this image. We've given them reference to the author here of the image, so we're good to go there. And we'll scroll down the page a bit, and let's see what else we can find. There's loads of pictures we could add, but there's a table here. So remember in our previous tutorial we made a table, didn't we? So let's replicate this table. So we'll copy this title, we'll copy it, and below this horizontal rule we'll make a H2 tag, and we'll close our H2 tag and save it. We'll go back here and refresh, reload the page, and we'll see the H2 tag here. And now we want to create the table. Now this will take a little bit of time, but let's do this properly, right? Let's do this right. So we're going to tab in. So we'll tab in one. So just to tab in our code a little bit, and we'll do table. And when let's spell this right. And when we create an opening tag, table tag, we need to create a closing one. And this is where we've got to do a bit of thinking, right? So we're going to tab in, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. We've got 4 columns. So we want to do table row, and we want to do a closing table row. So that's representing the row, right? Now we want to represent how many cells do we want in the row, and we want 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 going across. Let's move down a little bit here. So we'll tab in one here. Let's tab in one, and we're going to do table data and close the table data tag. And we're going to copy this table data, and we're going to do 1. Let's just tab that across. 3, 4. So this is representing one row, and this is how many cells are in that row. Yeah. So we've got one row of data, table row, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cells. So we can see the one row here, and we can see the 4 blocks of content inside. Now we've got one row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 rows in total, and it representing 4 columns, right? So this is one row, what we've got right here. This is one row. So let's make it. Let's just do that again. We'll copy it up to here. We won't copy this part here, this purple bit here. We don't want that. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it down 1. So that's 2 in total. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6, 7, and 8. Now we've got the 8 rows represented here. Let's just delete one of these here, this blank space. So now it's looking uniform, right? And if we go back to our web page and refresh, nothing will happen. We won't see anything. So in the table, we need to do BOR the border equals 1. And now when we refresh, we're going to see this tiny little table here. The reason why it's so tiny is because the data has not been put into these cells yet. So let's put the data in. We'll copy this title and we'll paste it here. We'll copy this one and we'll paste it into this one here. And we'll copy this one and paste it here. And copy the notes here and paste it here. We'll press Ctrl S to save. And we'll go to here and we'll refresh. Now we can see the 4 titles and we're missing all the data below. So this is going to take a few minutes to do, but let me do it the right way. If we were to ever publish this page and put it on the internet, we might as well put the right information in there, right? And this is where sometimes building websites can take a little bit longer, but we're doing this right now and someone else had to do it before. So it took them just as long. So let's appreciate that they've done that work for us and we are able to easily cut and paste it in. So let's do the job right. This will take a few minutes. Unfortunately, this can be the boring bit of web development. Moving data and copying. So imagine if your client sent this to you. You had a client and they made a table in a Word document and it looks something like this. It could have been a food menu or something like that. Then you would have to move that data across in this same way. There are other ways to do this, obviously, but in most cases, this is the way that I would normally do this. Let's just thank that this is not like a 50 rows in this, right? There's the lucky bit. So we'll just paste this in. Got one more row to do. You see this is the very last one, right? And you can see how we cut and pasted those table rows down. You can see how we cut and pasted all these blocks rather than writing the code over and over, repeating it. Once we know how to do it once and we memorize that, then we can just cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste and build our table out very quickly. So if we go back here and refresh, now we can see all the data. So I think the only thing we need to really do is maybe make these bold, right? The top titles, because in our one they're not bold. They're just like just normal font, normal text. So we'll go to the very top and we'll type in strng strong, right? And we'll copy this strong tag. So we'll select it with our mouse, Control C to copy, and we'll paste it here, here, and here. Now, because we've got an opening strong tag, we need to go to the end of the tag here and paste it and put a backslash in to close that strong tag. We'll do it here, and we're going to do one here, and we'll do one right at the end of the notes here. And that's it. Now all the titles are bold. We've got built the table. We did that pretty quick. And that's it. That's pretty much this table done. So what else can we do? Let's have a bit more fun, right? Let's go below this. Let's have a think about what else we've done in the previous tutorials. So if I remember correctly, we added some video content from YouTube, right? So I'm pretty sure if we copy this Andromeda Galaxy, and if we, in fact, let's make a title for it first. So let's do, the last tag we did was a H2 one, right? H2. So let's make this one a H3. And we'll paste Andromeda Galaxy video. And then we'll go to, let's go to YouTube. I'm pretty sure we'll find something on YouTube. Paste this here. Let's take this first one, 5 incredible facts about Andromeda Galaxy. So we'll click on the video, we'll pause it, and then we'll go to share and we'll click embed here. So I'll click the share button, where is it, down here, share, and then embed, and then we'll select the text here, we'll press Ctrl+C to copy, and we'll close it. We can close the YouTube, drag this window to the side. Whenever you've got a window, if you drag it all the way to the far edge, it will like left align automatically, yeah? And then we'll go back to our code. Let's get our code open. Here's our code. We're going to paste that right here, and we'll save it, and we'll refresh. Now we've got the video, Andromeda Galaxy video here. It would be nice if this video was the same width and height, or at least the same width as the image. In the image, if I remember correctly, we set it to 700, and the height of it was around 500. So 700 by 500, refresh. Now the image and the video are the same size, and this will play straight in the browser. You can view the video, you can mute it, and people can watch the video now in your web browser. And this is quite nice, right? So we'll pause that, and let's put a break here. If I remember last time we went to where did we go? We went to SoundCloud, right? SoundCloud. So let's go to SoundCloud and let's search for something. Let's search for, we just search for something that says Galaxy in it, right? Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. Right, this is really nothing to do with galaxies, but real galaxies, but we'll click on it anyway.
There was once a flashy car and a simple car. The flashy car.
Okay, it's playing an advert here. So we'll click on the share button right here. Share. We'll click on embed, and this time we'll change the color. So let's change it to, see in here you can actually change the button color here. You can make it whatever color you want. So it's really like a light blue. Maybe we'll go to, let's make it yellow, right? Here, yellow button. Now we can select this, right click, copy. We'll go below this break line and we'll paste it here, and we'll set the width to 700. Let's make it 700, not percent, just 700, and we'll set the height to around 200. We can then close this, we're back to our page, refresh it. Now we've got the video, and we've got this Guardian of the Galaxy. Something to do with galaxies. So if someone finishes watching the video and they're having a cup of tea and they want to listen to some music, now you've got a Guardians of the Galaxy music track playing. But that could have been a podcast about maybe about the galaxy, right? Someone's done a podcast, you want to copy it, paste it, embed it in here from SoundCloud, and you can go ahead and do that. So let's go down here and we put in another HR, horizontal rule. We'll save it and we'll refresh. And we've got a line separator here. And let's go to Google, right? And we'll type in Google Maps. Let's try and add a map. So type in Google Maps. We'll click on Google Maps and we'll search for NASA. Is it NASA? What is it? NASA. John. Yeah, there you go. NASA Johnson Space Center. So we'll click on that. And this is some place in America. I believe you can go and visit it. It's got reviews here, so I'm pretty sure you can go and visit it, and you can go and have a look at all this great stuff about space and all these amazing things. Let's try and add this map there. So we'll click on this menu button. In fact, the first thing we'll do is copy this title. Let's copy this text here, what we just searched for. And underneath this HR, we'll create another H3 tag. Let's do that right. And we'll paste this title, and then we'll do close the H3 tag. And let's caps all of these letters. NASA is normally in all capitals, right? Then underneath that, we want to add this map, so we'll click on this menu, and then we'll go down to, where is it, share and embed here. We'll click on that, then this will pop up. We'll click on embed a map, click that, and then we'll copy HTML. We'll click on this button right here, so that will copy it. Then we can go back to our page and we'll paste it right here, and then we'll save it, and we'll set the width to 700 and we'll set the height to 500, just like our images and our video, and then we'll refresh, and then we've got NASA Johnson Space Station, and we've got a Google map there now. Now what would be interesting is if we can actually find some information about it, because just having a map is not that great, is it? So we'll paste this here, we'll search for the text, and can we find a wiki page where we've got a Wikipedia page about it, and we'll copy the first 3 paragraphs. Just right click, copy, and then we'll paste them. Let's put the text above and the map below, right? So we'll put it above this iframe, or below this H3 tag here, right here. We'll paste it. Let's press the tab here to indent it, tidy up our code. Let's press the tab here, and what do we need to do? Just like before, opening paragraph tag. So we'll copy that opening paragraph tag here, we'll paste it at the beginning here and here. Then we'll go to the end of this paragraph, we'll paste the tag, and we'll put a backslash in to close it. We'll paste it here, backslash, and we'll paste it here, and put the slash in as well. Save it, go back to our page, refresh it. Now we can see the first 3 opening paragraph tags and the map. And let's do one more thing. Let's go just above the map, and we'll do source of information, colon, and then we'll do a href equals, and we'll do the speech marks. We'll copy this URL, so we'll select it and copy it, we'll paste it right here, and then we'll do the closing anchor tag, and in this first, just after the URL here, we'll do target equals underscore blank, and we'll save it, and then we'll copy this title and we'll paste it in between the anchor tag and save it. In fact, we will do Wikipedia, we'll do Wikipedia colon NASA Johnson Space Center. Maybe we'll put a hyphen in between, yeah, like this, just like that. So what did all of that do? Let's go and have a look. Refresh. Now we've got source of information, Wikipedia, NASA, or we've got Johnson Space Center written here, right? So let's tidy that up a little bit, and what we'll do is put a paragraph tag at the beginning and one at the end, and we'll close the paragraph tag. And I think this beginning part will make it strong, and at the end here, right here, we'll close that strong tag, and we'll refresh. Then we can see this part is bold, the link isn't bold, but when we click on the link it will open a new tab, and we've got the wiki page here. Right? Okay. Let's go back to our page and refresh one more time. So we've got quite a bit of information in here now. I know the page doesn't look amazing, but we're using the knowledge that we had in previous tutorials to build this page quite quickly. So it's interesting to see that, right? Let's put a horizontal rule here and save it. That will draw a line right at the bottom here. And let's have a little think here. So we've done tables. Let's do Okay, in the other tutorial we did a, do you remember we did an ordered list? So like we did a bullet list which had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers in it, and then we had a bullet list which just had circles like the real bullet points. So let's do a quick bullet point. Why not? So we'll go back to Google and we'll type in fact, let's try one more thing. I don't know if this will work, but let's click on this image here. I wonder, let's open this, right? Because this is like a, oh, we can do that. Okay, cool. So I'm clicking on, you can see these pictures with these circles like this, these arrow things, right? Let's click on this one. This is like the entrance, but I like this one. This is like the launch place, isn't it, where they launch all the rockets from. So let's click. So when you click here, we'll click on these 3 little dots here, and we'll go to share or embed, and we'll click that. We'll click on embed, and then we'll copy this text here. Let's copy this. We'll close it. Let's drag this to the side, and then above this HR tag, we'll put this iframe, and then we'll do a break here. So we'll break the 2 contents, the 2 iframes, separate them, and then we'll set this to 700 and 500. So that will be pretty cool if that works. Let's refresh. So we've got the map above, and now we've got this actual 360 image. So I quite like that. And I believe if you hold down the control key and use your mouse wheel, you can actually zoom in. Let's see if we can read anything here. Flight dynamics. Interesting stuff. These computers look really old though, don't they? Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's what it is. So that's pretty cool. Okay, underneath here we want to create a bullet list. So let's go back to this Wikipedia page. If you don't have it, you can just go back to that Wikipedia page, and we'll scroll down and we'll find, can we see these bullets here? Let's maybe recreate these. These are bullets, so we want to create bullets, right? So we want to do, what we want to do is have, so it's an unordered list. It's a UL, unordered list. And in fact, before the unordered list, let's put in a H4 tag, a header tag, and we do /H4, and we'll type in useful information. And then we've got unordered list, and we need to close that one. And inside we want a list item, and we want to close the list item tag. And then we want to do maybe, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll save it, go back to our website, refresh it, scroll to the bottom. Then we've got useful information and 4 bullets. And each one of these bullets will be one of these top 4 here. So we'll copy this title, Galaxies in Fiction, and we'll paste it here. We'll copy this one, and we'll paste it here. We'll copy this one, paste it here, and we'll copy this one and paste it here. Save it, go back, refresh, and we can see the 4 bullets now. Now we could just leave it like that, but let's go one step further, and each one of these is a link. So when you hover over it, you can see it's got like the underscore, so each one is a link. So let's make all of these links as well. So remember, we need to do an A for anchor, then we need to do href equals, and then 2 speech marks, and then after that we'll do target equals underscore blank, and then we'll close it at the end here, // and then A. Then we're going to copy this first tag, starting from the opening bracket to the closing bracket. We're going to copy it and paste it here, here, and here. And then we'll copy the end tag and we'll paste it at the end here, just before the list item ends. or at the end of these titles. So here you can see we're starting to save some time by copying and pasting code. My advice to you is try and type as much as you can until you've got memorized it, and once you've memorized it, then you can just cut paste like this and build your links out quite quickly, or any other pieces of code like your paragraphs and stuff like that. But it's worth typing it in first quite a lot of times until you memorize it, and once you've memorized it, why not save yourself some time, cut and paste them, and it will save yourself a lot of time, just like we did with the table. Do you remember we copied the table, we copied one row and we pasted it down 8 times. Imagine if you had to type that 8 times over. It'll take you a lot of time. So sometimes you can save yourself time by just cutting and pasting code. But in reality, we should have really written the first one, make sure the code is correct, then cut and pasted it. Because if there's an error in here, we've replicated that error 4 times, right? So we have to be a bit careful. So let's right click on this Galaxy on this link here. We're going to right click and then copy link address. You should see something similar, and we'll paste it here. Then we'll go to the second one, copy and paste it in between these speech marks here. We'll go to the third one, copy and paste it right here, and then we'll go to the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, fourth one, copy and paste it here. We'll save it. We'll go to the website, refresh. Now all of these are active links. We can click on them and they'll go to those relevant pages. Here and here. Okay, we're almost done. Let's just do one more thing. We'll go down to here. We'll put in a HR, horizontal rule, and then let's do a little copyright, yeah? So we do ampersand. If I remember correctly, what was it? It was, and let's put it in a paragraph actually. So P for paragraph. And it was ampersand, copy, semicolon, my, what will we call this? Let's call it and we'll refresh, scroll down to the very bottom, and then we've got the copyright. So it's just really that symbol that I wanted to show you, right? The copyright symbol, my Andromeda Galaxy information page. We'll do one more thing before we finish. Just we'll actually put in another horizontal rule right here, refresh, and in between these two horizontal rules we're going to do an anchor. So we're going to do a href equals, and we'll close that, and it will say in between this we'll say click here to watch video, and then we do hash video. So when we refresh, we'll see this here, click here to watch video, and when we click on that, we want it to go up to where this video is, Andromeda Galaxy video. So the hash was hash video here, yeah? Hash video, that's what we need to memorize. And we should do that in lowercase, yeah? Do that in lowercase is better. Hash video. So we're going to go up to the top here, find the Andromeda Galaxy video. Just above the title, we do an anchor, and we give it an ID video, and we'll close the anchor, save it. We'll refresh this page, we'll scroll down, click on the link, and it takes us straight to the video. It didn't take us to the top of the page, it didn't take us anywhere else apart from where we put the anchor. So we anchor from here to this point, click the play button, and we can watch the video. Okay, so that did take quite a bit of time to go through this tutorial, but we went through almost all of the elements that we built, majority of them. We went through most of the content we actually did a few new things, right, that we didn't do before. I don't think we put in a Google map before. We didn't put this image in here. And although the page doesn't look amazing, you're learning the fundamentals of the code, right? So there's two ways to see this code. You can either view it in your Notepad++ file, or you could even close down the Notepad+ file, and now you can just right click here and view source code. And now you can look at your own source code, and you can see how nice and beautiful and easy it is to read. Look how clean it is. It's super clean, right? You could probably sit here and read this code now. You'll actually understand it. You'll understand that this is a H1 tag. You'll understand there's a paragraph here. You'll understand that this is a table and it's got a border in it set to 1. And now you're learning the code, because really being able to read this code and read these tags, this is really what's going to help you later. So when it comes to writing web pages, if you just know this stuff off the top of your head, then writing web pages is going to be very simple for you. So my advice to you is, before you move on to the next tutorial, because in the next tutorial we're going to start using CSS to make these pages look way more presentable, because at the moment they look a bit rough and ready. But this is actually how web pages really looked like when we first started to build web pages, when people started to first create these web pages right back in the day. In fact, I'll show you, right? Let's go back to this website called Wayback Machine. It's a website called Wayback Machine. It's called archive.org.web. So let's go and have a look at the BBC website, right? This is what the BBC website looks like today. It looks nice, it's clean, it's got all these boxes, it's easy to read. It's what we call responsive design. So when we resize it, it will resize the page so you can see it on a mobile and a desktop. It's a really nice site, yeah, clean, simple. Put a lot of money into this site and it works really well. Now let's have a look at what the BBC website looked like before. Let's go back, not even that long ago, right? I think let's see how far back we can go. This will be quite interesting. So let's see what it looked like in 1997. This is quite a long time ago. Let's do exactly, where are we, 2018. So let's do 1998. This will be exactly, you know, it's actually quite a long time ago. But we'll click on, let's click on this green one, December the 5th. So when I click here, let's click on this blue one. Yeah, the blue one. The 3rd. This is what the BBC website used to look like. Yeah. Yeah, although it is quite a long time ago, it's like 1998, 2008, 2018, 20 years ago. That's what it looked like. So let's see what it looked like 10 years later. It's quite interesting, right? That's what it looked like 20 years ago. So if we go to 2008, let's go back to roughly around the same time. Let's click on the 9th of July. And let's see the difference. This web archive can be a bit slow. That was taking too long. Let's try another one. So here you can see an improvement, right? It's looking a bit better, but it doesn't look anything nice. And you know, we go to sports here, you can see we like a really nice sports page. So things do evolve, technology evolves, and you understand the coding languages. You're actually in a good position right now. If you're learning HTML right now, you're quite lucky, because all of the tools and the techniques that we use today were not available 5-6 years ago, or even a couple of years ago. Things have changed quite dramatically, and the big change was when mobile phones, you know, smartphones came about. So when iPhone came out and all these Android devices with screens, then we as developers and as designers, we had to start thinking about that. How are we going to build a website that can fit on all these different devices? We've got desktop computers, we've got laptops, we've got tablet devices, and we've got mobile phones, and they all have different screen resolutions. They're not all the same size screen. You've got small phones, big phones, small tablets, big desktop computers, big laptops, small ones, all these different devices. And the way that we tackled that, or the way that the technology was built to deal with that, is to use responsive design. So this is something we're going to be looking at later. In the next set of tutorials, we'll focus on CSS, and that's going to help us to lay out things a bit more clear, so we can put images and titles, and we can do all these sort of things and lay things out a bit more better. But the real crunch of it is when we start looking at things like Bootstrap. So in future tutorials, we'll look at Bootstrap, and we'll be able to build responsive design. So it will respond. So on a mobile, it will look like this. On a tablet, it might look like this. On a desktop computer, it will be bigger, right? Most websites will do that now. Not all of them. Some of them are built specifically for mobile devices, and they have a desktop version. They have two different devices, two separate websites. There's pros and cons to that, like everything. So I'm going to close this page. That's the end of this tutorial. Join me in the next set of tutorials where we're going to start to learn CSS3 and combine that with our HTML to build better style pages. Okay, I look forward to seeing you in the next DCP web tutorial.